Hello, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank all of the law enforcement professionals for ensuring the safety of our college community. Second, thank you to our students, faculty, and staff for their quick response in dealing with a challenging situation. Early this morning, a phone call was received at the SUNY City Campus switchboard claiming that a person with a gun was seen on the 5th floor of the post office building. Our security team immediately issued an alert to lock down the campus and have all students and faculty and staff shelter in place. Law enforcement unit arrived within minutes and began sweeping the building, escorting anyone sheltering in place to exit safely off campus. Law enforcement actively assessed the situation, and we can report that no weapons were found. The safety of our students, faculty, and staff remain our highest priority. At this time, we do not have confirmed information to share beyond what has already been communicated. We will continue to work with the law enforcement. An update will be provided as soon as accurate information becomes available. This was a difficult day. The college was able to provide on-site support services and would encourage anyone who needs further support to contact EAP, Child and Family Services for Employers at 716-681-4300, and for our students, Crisis Services at 716-834-3131. And right now, I would like to bring John Reinhardt, Associate Vice President of Campus Safety.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'll echo a little bit of what Dr. Sagai said, and I'll start by thanking our law enforcement partners, our partners over at Central Police Services. It's what we trained for. It went perfectly. The Buffalo Police Department assisted, responded. The Sheriff's Department, the folks at Central Police Services were here to help us. And of course, my team with the College Safety Department was amazing. They responded just what we would hope they would do. Our dispatch center did a terrific job. You know, it's a stressful time when something like this happens. No matter how much you train, no matter how much you prepare, it's difficult. But the call came in, as Dr. Sagai said, this morning around 10:20 a.m. It came through the 911 center over at Central Police Services. It was routed to us at the college in our dispatch center. Our dispatcher did an amazing job, contacted college safety officers right away. I got the call while I was at North Campus, assessed what was going on, and then we immediately went to lockdown of the post building, and we did a shelter in place of our other buildings here, the athletic center that we're in now, and across the street at 45 Oak. The college safety team just sprung right into action, got on all floors of the campus, even though the call came in at the 5th floor of the post building, made sure that everybody was safe on all floors. And from there, we just assisted. At that point, we become the assisting agency to law enforcement. SWAT came in from BPD. Their command personnel did a great job, coordinated with us. We set up an emergency operations center right at the post building. We followed their lead at that point, assisted them. Our facilities department is another one I should mention. They assisted us with making sure that we had access to the entire building. And I guess most importantly, what I would say is nobody was injured. All our students were safe. They responded in an outstanding way. A lot of what the response that I saw from our students, faculty, staff, I saw on video in the Emergency Operations Center. They were calm in a time where it was, very upsetting to some students, and everything went as we would hope it would go.
So how do you determine then it was a false call that came in, or someone saw something and made the call that came in? You said it went through 911.
So to say it was a false call would be premature. I don't want to get ahead of Buffalo PD, but we didn't see anything that would lead us to believe that there was a firearm in the building. We're really fortunate. We experienced a capital project here at SUNY Erie in the past year with our camera system, our surveillance system, and wow, it was really helpful. It helped us to to get right on that area to see what, to determine what we could see. And we did not see any firearm in the area. Was it a false report? It could be, but I don't want to get ahead of Buffalo PD. They're the investigating agency.
Did anybody identify themselves as the caller when we started to show up?
The fact that nobody identified themselves as the caller, that always leads us to be a little bit suspicious. We tried calling the number back without any luck. Central Police Services gave us a lot of help there. One other agency I should mention is UPD out of Albany was very helpful. They contacted us right away and they were helpful. But that's a good question because the fact that the caller didn't want to stay on the line was very brief. It raises some suspicion.
What did the caller say while they were on the line?
That there was a person in the 5th floor of the post building with a firearm. Clearly said, I heard the call, I go in and I have access to that. Clearly stated that there was a person with a firearm, and that was unsubstantiated.
So Buffalo Police put out a release saying, there's nothing that indicates this was a legitimate gun call at this point. Are you looking into swatting? How do you classify it at this point, I guess?
We recently received information from UPD out of Albany about swatting calls, and it's something that has happened at other schools. So we are, in tune with that. We're aware of that. But we still don't know. We can't jump to that conclusion. And again, I'd be getting ahead of them to say that. But we don't have any evidence that there was anybody with a firearm. And when I tell you our surveillance system is good, it's really good.
So just to be clear, did anyone report directly to you that was in the building that they saw someone with a firearm?
The caller did.
But
and it's
in the building itself? No,
so it's uncorroborated. And our officers were there within, I want to say within a minute, of the call. You could see them entering the area. So that's, we hope that there was nobody with a firearm, and it doesn't look like there was.
Are you able to track where that call came from?
Yeah, that's what Central Police helped us with a lot. They were able to ping that cell phone. They were able to see the movements of that cell phone, and that's something that BPD will follow up with, and hopefully we'll figure out who did make that call.
Was the cell phone in the area, though?
Yes.
And one professor we spoke with mentioned that he recently received active shooter training. Is that something you guys are providing to faculty and students to prep for situations like this?
I'll have to defer to Dr. Sagai, but I can talk about my department, and yes, I actually just went through it with the LSU model with Buffalo PD. It was phenomenal training. I hadn't done that in quite a few years, and then some of our officers did it and all felt the same way. Excellent training, and I saw a lot of it play out today. You want to talk about the faculty?
So with our faculty stuff, that's something that we're working with Mr. Reinho on to do training for our faculty and stuff, including our students with lockdowns.
Today we received a tip from someone who called and that there are not locks on the classroom doors. Is that true?
Say that again. There are not what?
There are not locks on the classroom door. The classroom doors don't lock. Is that true?
Our doors lock. Yeah, our doors lock, and as part of our emergency operation plan for the college, we lock down, and we ask the students to stay locked down. And this was a long lockdown, I will say. We definitely struggled with that. Will people remain locked down? Because we don't know over an extended period of time how they'll do. They did outstanding, and we couldn't release people until the Buffalo SWAT was done going from floor to floor, room to room. And some of the doors won't lock now that the SWAT team came and had to enter them, and that happens. That's part of making sure that there's safety, and we're okay with that. We'll fix doors. That's okay.
So the call comes in. Can you walk us through the sequence of events? When this call came in today, what activated after that? How did this all play out in terms of the lockdown, the police entering the building? How did that all play out?
In short, it couldn't have gone better from what I saw. And again, I was at the North Campus when it came in. We immediately received, once we received the call, we immediately assessed what was going on. We locked the building down. Our dispatcher was on the phone with Buffalo PD, so they were here when I got here. The Sheriff's Department was here when I got here. We set up a quasi-command center immediately before we ended up moving into an emergency operations center. And everything went as well as in my experience in law enforcement, as well as I've seen.
So did law enforcement have to go room to room to kind of escort people out, clear the rooms?
Absolutely, that's how we do it. We don't release the lockdown. We don't release people out of buildings during a lockdown until police notify them. And I'd be remiss if ironically, if I didn't thank the state police showed up as well. But yeah, they were there as well.
Can you walk us through how a lockdown is communicated to students and faculty who are inside the building? Some of them said they just saw police cars outside and closed their door. Like, how is that communicated to people on campus?
Yeah, so we have people, myself included, that can send out the alert, whether it's a weather-related emergency or something like this. So I will say I pulled over on the side of the road on my way from north and sent that alert, and that's what initiated it. That's what initiated the lockdown.
How soon after the call came in did that alert go out?
I'd have to look at the records on that, but very shortly. Once I get corroboration, because somebody asked about the swatting, I think you did ask about the swatting, we want to make sure that's not the case. So we're not going to lock down and shelter in place or anything like that until we get some kind of corroboration. And once we got that, we went right into lockdown.
How valuable was this experience? I mean, you're not looking for a training session today, but I mean, I'm sure you guys will break this down and go over it between the departments. I mean, what did you learn today?
We might have mentioned that.
Yes.
Yeah, we might have mentioned that we do training, but you can't simulate that kind of training. It was, we don't want to have something like that happen, but in hindsight, it was really a good training operation. I'm sure Buffalo PD, it was great for them. I was really impressed with their response and what they did during it. But yeah, you can't simulate that, right? I mean, it was outstanding. The downside to something like that is it's difficult for students and faculty and staff, and we're very cognizant of that. We're going to make sure the next step will be to make sure that everybody receives counseling and the assistance they need.
Not to get ahead of yourself or Buffalo Police who are investigating this, but if this does turn out to be an intentional false call, could that caller face charges? And why is that so serious not to waste resources like this?
Yeah, so that's something Buffalo PD will handle, but on our end, we would definitely move for prosecution, whether it's as simple as falsely reporting an incident or something more severe. But you made a good point with the resources. I mean, think about all the patrols that were here, and I can hear the scanner when that situation was going on. In Buffalo PD, things don't stop in Buffalo because they're over here. So yeah, it's a tremendous waste of resources. And if we find out that somebody did this intentionally and it was falsely reporting, they should be prosecuted.
What happens next from a law enforcement perspective in the situation?
So we work with Buffalo PD. We'll compile evidence. We'll continue to investigate. We don't end here. A lot of it is electronic, digital evidence. They had sent a few people over. I think one of their officers is here now just to follow up with me to make sure that we get them the information and the evidence that they need.
Is the building closed now? Is there any events that were planned that are going to be altered over the weekend?
For today, all the classes will cancel. Any event that we have, not just at the downtown location, but across the campuses, so north and south.
Will you proceed with normal operations tomorrow or Monday?
Yes, we intend to. Yes,
Tomorrow?
yes, tomorrow.
Just so I'm clear, the cell phone of the caller was pinged to the area of, where this is taking place?
That's what I was getting from Central Police Services. And I was on the phone with the Commissioner, Brian Ross. He was very helpful. That's information that they're giving us. I'd rather not get too far into that because Buffalo PD will do that investigation. But we live in a digital world, and there's a lot of information that we have access to, and that was part of it.
You might have already touched on this, but a teacher that called our station said that there were no locks on the doors. Is that true? Are there locks on the doors?
Our doors have locks, but for me to say, for something like that, could there be a door that was unlocked? That'll come out when we debrief. So a situation like this, once we're done with the investigation, we compile evidence, we internally will debrief, and then we'll go externally with our partners that helped us. And that's something we will definitely cover. And if that comes out, we would get that fixed in short order. We never want to see something like that happen. We have an amazing facilities department here, and they work. So, yeah, they'll take care of that.
Anything else, guys? Thank you.
Thank you.
Chief, thanks, Doc.
Okay, thank you.